Hello, I'm Catherine Corelli. Yes, ime Caterina Corelli. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or Instagram, or TikTok, wherever you're watching. This is episode 390. Is it? Yes. It's episode 390 of my Cat Vibes series. Yep, 390. And this one is called Who Found Whom? So, I'm still on the Equinity series, and I'm on this exploration of a girl and a horse in various settings. This time it's a new setting, and I have to say that it was quite challenging because I had an idea for this setting, but I kind of underestimated what would it take to make it work. I wanted this to be very expressive without being a portrait. So I had to set everything not too close, but also not too far. And I'm using a larger panel here. It is a 16 by 12, I believe. Yeah, it's a 16 by 12 inch panel, canvas panel, because I wanted to paint this wave. And I wanted to depict a horse coming out of that wave and meeting the girl. So the question is, of course, who met whom? Is it the girl who met the horse, who was looking for the horse and found it in the sea? Or was it the horse that found the girl, who was wandering into the sea? The interpretation will depend on how do you see it, and how do you want to see it. You can see both, and you can derive various conclusions. There's a ton of blues here, apparently, in this painting, and I've skewed it mostly towards blues, even though I was tempted to go into greens, but I thought, nah. I was tempted to use more blue-greens down here in the right bottom corner. But then I just thought that, no, these dark blue waters, they sit kind of better. They're more congruent with everything. Because would I have given some greens here down below, down under, I would have to add something else in the back or in the distance, and I just didn't want to tilt the whole tonal scale of this painting, if that makes any sense. Sounds kind of musical, but that's kind of how I think about it. This is a limited scale, I think. Kind of a limited scale. Almost like harmonic minor without the Phrygian second. And without the augmented fourth. Now, what I mean by augmented fourth, I mean the lowered fourth. I love the lowered fourth in harmonic minor. So it's like, okay, so it's just harmonic minor. And in this case, that's kind of how I think of the color palette here. It's more of just a harmonic minor with a few nuances, but apparently the blue is not the same throughout the painting. It kind of shifts. Sometimes it's slightly greenish. There's a little bit of turquoise here going on, but there's definitely lots of Prussian blue, and there's some grays, and there's a little bit of cobalt blue as well, and bright blue. And I think that's quite enough to highlight the redness of her dress. And the warm tones, the warm browns of the horse. That's kind of how I was thinking about this, because I was worried that if I start throwing in if I kind of diversify the water too much, then these two figures won't stand out as much as I wanted them to stand out. Even though theoretically I could have done this. And maybe I'll return to this and I will repaint it again as a larger painting. And this time I'll explore just a different option, just a different tonal vision for the whole thing. But this time around, it is what it is. It already had its own challenges, aside of the tonal aspect of it. So I think I err on the side of not overcomplicating things and keeping them to the point, trying to keep them to the point, instead of having multiple fronts to deal with. After all, this is not realism, really. It's more on the side of impressionism and symbolism, of course. So I don't entirely think that, I should be going in some... There is some. You can see the turquoise right there. This line that goes where the foam is, right? There is some turquoise. You can just see it under the brush strokes and under the palette knife. There's a little bit of reflection from her dress in the waters. Damn it, it was morning when I was painting already. I so love the night, and I so love to paint alone when it's quiet. I kind of need it. That I start my painting, if I'm lucky, at around 3 a.m. and then I continue and press onward for as long as I can, basically. So here's the finished painting, finished piece. Who found whom? That being said, thank you for being with me, and until next time, ciao.